Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Minnesota.
The Twins return home, sweet home tonight, back at Target Field for the first time in nearly 2 weeks. Another big crowd anticipated in downtown Minneapolis to watch them take aim at the Astros. Houston's been on a record roll, the result of a 5-game lead over Texas for the AL Western Division lead. Quite a turnaround for an Astros team that sat in baseball's basement a couple years ago. Twins have experienced a turnaround of their own and entered the night just a half game behind the Rangers for their second wild card ticket in the American League. Welcome to Twins Baseball on Fox Sports North. Two of the best turnaround stories in the major leagues colliding this weekend at Target Field. Two teams meeting for the first time in over a year. Let's set up this 3-game weekend series. Houston is a team of extremes. They own the worst batting average in baseball, but the most home runs. They're amazing at home, 24 games over 500, below average on the road, 10 games under 500. Does that sound familiar? Twins coming off a successful road trip, thanks in large part to some bullpen brilliance. A major league leading 0.95 ERA over the last 7 games. Oh, what a relief they've been. Houston has held the lowest ERA in the major league since trading for Scott Kazmir last month. Their starters have been stellar. Their relievers equally impressive, as witnessed by the fact that they've allowed no more than 2 runs in 9 consecutive games. Up next, Dick and Roy with the tales of two teams who have exceeded everyone's expectations this season, except their own. Twins and Astros, surprising turnaround. Next.
Presented by Luther Nissan Kia. 2 locations, 1 very low price. By Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. By Bud Light. Stay in the game and drink responsibly. And by Dodge. Find your summer of performance with great deals at the Dodge Summer Clearance event. After a great road trip, the Twins hope to have a successful homestand facing an old nemesis. Left-hander Scott Kazmir will start in the series opener for the Astros. Kyle Gibson hoping to even his record at 9-9 in the series opener. And good Friday evening to you from Target Field. Dick Bramer and Roy Smalley filling in for Bert Blyleven. These two teams might very well face each other in the playoffs this year. It's been a remarkable turnaround for both the Astros and the Twins. Roy, let's talk about the Twins. Twins are poised now to perhaps win a wild card spot. What do they have to do from here on out?
Well, basically, they have to hold serve on the road. They're in the middle of a stretch of 25 games. We're 19 of them on the road, and they've got to play 500 ball at least on the road. So far, so good. A really nice 6-4 road trip through New York and Baltimore and Tampa. If they play 500 ball on the road and then get back here in Target Field and play 600 ball at home like they've been doing, they've got a really good chance. They come to the last weekend against Kansas City, they will be right there.
For the Houston Astros, they're not just simply playing for a playoff spot. They're hoping to win the division. Quite a turnaround from the last several years when they were just horrible, and now they are one of the better teams in the league.
And they are doing that with the old Earl Weaver recipe for winning games. Get great starting pitching and get guys that can hit the 3-run home run. And boy, have these guys done that. A terrific starting staff that has also added Scott Kazmir, the pitcher, tonight, and they can hit the ball out of that little bandbox of a home ballpark they play in. They haven't been much better on the road than the Twins have, but like the Twins, they can really hit the ball home.
Twins will see a lot of the Astros, having not seen them yet this year. This weekend, a series in Minnesota. Next week in Houston. Two of the most surprising teams in baseball setting up a 3-game series here tonight in Minneapolis.
A human being could hit a baseball that far. And the Twins have won 6 straight on the road.
And we'll see if they can win 6 straight at home. Twins hoping for a successful homestand. Generally, the challenge has been taking the home success on the road. Now the Twins will try to do just the opposite. A.J. Hinch, like Paul Molitor in his first year managing. And here the Twins have played 127 games. They haven't seen the Astros yet this year, but we'll get a steady diet of the Astros and that great starting pitching with the 6 games here in the next week and a half. The Menards batting order for the Astros. All-star Jose Altuve leading things off. Jed Lowry is third. Evan Gattis hitting third. Colby Rasmus, Carlos Gomez, Luis Valbuena, Marwin Gonzalez, Jason Castro, and Jake Marisnick. Both teams dealing with some injuries. We'll talk about that a little bit later on.
And Kyle Gibson on the mound, looking for the consistency that he has been a little bit elusive for him this year. It'll be an interesting matchup with a home run hitting club against a sinker ball pitcher. He's going to need to throw a lot of strikes and a lot of low strikes tonight.
Northland Ford defense. Shane Robinson in left. It's his third straight start. Byron Buxton in center. Eddie Rosario is in right. Eduardo Nunez at third. Escobar Dozier up the middle. Floof at first. And Suzuki behind the plate. Miguel Sano sitting out of one game the Twins hope. Got a little bit of an injury issue. We'll hear more on that in just a minute. Floof across the diamond at first. And Joe Mauer is out of the lineup as well. So we'll see how the Twins fare here. The Astros, like the Twins, had a disappointing series of years, and now both have been among the biggest turnaround projects in baseball this year, and there have been several. Here's Altuve to get things started. And Gibson hits the corner. Beautiful night here at the ballpark. And we expect gradually warmer temperatures throughout the homestand, but no threat of rain, at least at this point. We should have 6 uninterrupted games. Down and away, and it's 1-1. It's an Astros team that has been in first place in the West for 31 straight days. They've been the primary first place team in the American League West this year. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
Good pitch right there by Kyle. A breaking ball that was in a real good location, and we're going to find out early on here if Kyle's got command of his 3 pitches and can really pound that low strike zone. Off to a good start.
Up and away with a fastball. In his last start in Baltimore, 5 2/3 innings, didn't get the decision, but 5 2/3 innings and 101 pitches. Kyle would like to, all the starters would like to take on more innings. There's a bouncer to the right side. Gibson will run to the bag himself with Plouffe moving to his right. Is there a better fielding pitcher in the league right now than Kyle Gibson? Now, that's not an extraordinary play, but we see quickness and speed off the mound.
Well, he's an athlete out there. He really is. He's the one guy I can think of that will lend any credence to Burt Blyleven's contention that there are athletes on the mound. I would, if every one of them were like Kyle Gibson, I'd go along with that. He is very, very good out there.
1 down, and now Jed Lowry. And off the plate outside, ball 1.
You know, speaking of Kyle Gibson, Jack Morris made a terrific point in our pregame show, Twins Live, today, when he talked about wishing that Kyle Gibson would just pound the strike zone and not nibble so much. And that will be an ongoing. There's a nice pitch there, but I think that will be an ongoing theme that we'll talk about for this game, certainly, and probably the rest of the season. I'll expand on what Jack said a little bit.
On the ground to the shortstop, Escobar. 2 down, and an encouraging sign with Gibson getting the first 2 at bats to hit the ball on the ground.
Right. No 3-ball counts. First 2 at bats, two ground balls, and that's what that Kyle is looking for. And Jack made this point, and it's right on. He's a tall release point guy. He's 6'6". He throws from a high release point, and yet the ball sinks. That's very different from most sinker ball pitchers, and it gives him a big advantage against hitters. And his biggest problem has been that he tends to be up in the strike zone, and he tends to nibble around a little bit, and instead of going at the low strike zone and trusting his stuff to sink below the bats of the hitters.
And that hits the corner.
And what we've seen, there was a slider there, and what we've seen is when he's throwing fastballs for strikes in a low strike zone early, and then he seems to have a better feel for his slider. And when his slider's working and his fastball's working, you get that. There's a jam shot because he's throwing strikes.
3 ground ball outs, a busted back grounder from Gaddis to end the 1-2-3 first inning. Maybe he can pitch deeper into the ball game. Paul Molitor with his team not in the driver's seat in the wild card anymore, but playing much better baseball, and the Twins are hoping to extend that streak of good baseball now through the end of the season. The Menards batting order has Byron Buxton leading off, Eduardo Escobar hitting second, Brian Dozier third, Trevor Plouffe hitting fourth in the absence of Miguel Sano, Eddie Rosario, Torrey Hunter, Eduardo Nunez, Kurt Suzuki, and Shane Robinson.
And an old Twins nemesis, Scott Kazmir, on the mound. Can't call him a crafty left-hander. He throws a little bit too hard for that, but he is smart. He knows how to pitch. He knows how to move the ball around the strike zone.
And here's Buxton. Had a tough day yesterday, 0 for 4 with 4 swinging strikeouts. And he takes down and away ball 1. Pinch hit 4 in the 9th inning last night. That ball popped up to center field. Gomez coming in to make the catch, 1 away. Check out the Astros in the field. Jake Marisnick is their left fielder, former Twin Carlos Gomez, former Brewer, former Met. Gomez is in center. Colby Rasmussen right. Lowry, Gonzalez, Altuve, Valbuena the infielders. And Jason Castro behind the plate. Boy, the Astros picked the Brewers clean. They got Gomez, an all-star center fielder. Mike Fiers pretty much a throw-in in the deal, and he threw a no-hitter his last time out. Twins will face him tomorrow.
I really think that Carlos Gomez is the wild card in that trade this year. He hasn't done a lot yet, but we know he has the ability to just go off offensively, and if he does, that will be maybe an insurmountable offense for the Houston Astros against the American League West. That could be a really, really great offense when they get Correa back, and if Gomez starts swinging it.
2 strikes to Escobar and a pitch in the dirt. The Astros are where they are because of tremendous starting pitching, and it has gotten better with the acquisition of Fiers and Kazmir. Dallas Keuchel there, their ace.
Bad beard notwithstanding.
1-2 to Escobar. And another fly ball to center, and Gomez retreats and then comes in. 2 down. Give you some idea where the Astros are in the pitching department. Coming into this game, this series, they have had 9 games in a row where they have given up. This is the starters and the relievers. They have given up 2 runs or less. 9 in a row. That's incredible.
That is incredible. That's exactly the word I was going to use, and it's reminiscent of some of the great pitching staffs over the years. You think of Koufax and Drysdale and Claude Osteen. You think of Maddox, Glavine, and Smoltz. Back when I first came into the league, Palmer and Cuellar and McNally and those guys. I mean, that's an amazing stat that a team can hold an American League lineups that have the DH to 2 runs or less 9 games in a row. That's really something.
1-1 to Dozier. Since Kazmir came over, the Astros have the AL's best team ERA, 2.56. The starters with an ERA at 2.60. That's the best in the league. Kazmir, who faced the Twins twice earlier this year. Brent Strom, the pitching coach, given a lot of credit for taking a largely young, inexperienced staff and just taking them to the pinnacle of.
Well, that's because he's a USC Trojan.
Oh, is that why?
Absolutely.
Kind of overwhelmed by USC people here. We got Jamie Hirsch is working tonight and for this series. She's from USC.
Brent was in school right before I got there. He was a legend at USC.
Followed back by Dozier, 2-2.
Kazmir is a really smart pitcher. He knows what hitters try to do. He knows how to try to get hitters out. He'll pitch throw a lot of balls in, cut fastballs and fastballs in, and then get you out with fastballs and changeups away. He's not afraid. Yeah, he's not afraid to go up there after he's thrown a lot of other stuff.
Each starting pitcher with a 1-2-3 first inning.
The second inning, 2 notable rookies are out of the lineup for both teams tonight. It brings us to our Sanford Health injury report showing Carlos Correa and Miguel Sano both out with hamstring issues. Correa hurt his on Tuesday. He sat out Wednesday's game and they had a day off yesterday, and still he is not quite able to play tonight. Sano told me that he felt his hammy tighten up on Wednesday. He said he played through it last night, but Paul Molitor really does not want him to try to overextend it. He said he is too important to this team to hurt it even more and then be out for an extended period of time. So both guys are technically day-to-day, and you hate to see big names like that out of a lineup in an important series.
Absolutely, and that was one of the great features, Jamie, of attractions in watching this series. Some of the best rookies, and there are a lot of them this year. Sano, Buxton, Correa, and that group, 2 of the 3 are out with a similar type of injury. 1 strike to Colby Rasmus leading off the second inning, and the pitch is up 1-1. For Correa, it's actually his 3rd day in a row. He didn't play the series finale in New York on Wednesday. Astros had an off day here in Minnesota yesterday and not available to play in the first game here tonight.
And I was anxious to see him play. I guess I have not seen him play, and I guess he's some kind of good player. Fun to have those guys in the league.
2-1 to Rasmus. George Springer on the disabled list. When we get to Houston next week, very likely he'll be in right field, and Rasmus will take a secondary role. 2-2.
Nice change up there by Kyle Gibson. So far, looks like he has very good command of all 3 pitches. He's throwing them where he wants to. He's throwing them at good speeds, and for the most part down in the strike zone. Usually you can tell right away early in the game with Kyle, either he has the command or he doesn't. So far it looks like he likes the way the ball's coming out of his hand. He likes where the release point is on all 3 of his pitches.
With 2 strikes, the Twins pulled Nunez over to the right side of the infield. 3-2 to the leadoff man here in the second. Right center field. Buxton with the catch, 1 away. And we'll bring up Carlos Gomez. Gomez, it seems, regardless of whether he's swinging it well or not, has a great series against the Twins. I told some of the Houston broadcasters I fully expect that at some point in this 3-game series he'll hit one into the at least second deck here. He seems to enjoy hitting against the Twins.
Well, he's a fun player to watch. He really is. He's got a world of talent, as we've known for 10 years now. Didn't develop here in Minnesota, did in Milwaukee. And now he's got a chance really with an up and coming team in Houston. How about what they've done if he can become the player that he was in center field, and they've got Altuve and Correa as a double play combination. All of a sudden they're looking like a team with a great pitching staff and strong up the middle. I guess you got to say they've built a pretty nice foundation just all of a sudden.
1-1 to Gomez. Remember when he was here with the Brewers twice in the series, he swung like that and swung out from underneath his helmet. This is an aggressive, vicious, slow pitch softball hat.
Yep, that got in on him and hit him not too far above the thumbs, but that never bothers Gogo. He's going to be hacking, that's for sure.
1-2. And that's what we saw before. Remember the scene, I think it was here, could have been in Milwaukee, where Gomez lost his helmet twice, and then someone, I think Torrey Hunter in the Twins dugout, got a helmet and got some duct tape and made a chin strap to try to hint that maybe he ought to get one of those to keep his helmet on. 1-2. Breaking ball, and it's nubbed in front of the plate, and Suzuki will throw him out. Great pitching by Gibson as he worked Gomez both inside and outside and ended up getting him out. 2 down. That'll bring up Luis Valbuena.
Well, Dick, you're absolutely right. He pitched him great. He got 2 strikes and then just pounded him inside hard with fastballs. And Gomez swinging really hard, but the ball in on him. Once hitters start thinking that you're going to throw it in on them and they're not getting around, they start getting in a hurry. Then a slider away in a really good spot to get him. Really nice sequence of pitches there.
Valbuena takes outside, ball 1. Gibson was matched up against Kazmir back in early May when Kazmir was still pitching for the A's. Twins scored some runs against Kazmir, and Gibson had one of his better games. 2-0. Went 6 innings, gave up just 4 hits and no runs. Picked up his 3rd win of the year. But now he's pitching, of course, against the Astros. But I think everybody knew going in that Gibson was going to have to be sharp if the Twins were going to beat Kazmir. Rolled up the line, 2-1.
Well, the key for Kyle is going to be to keep the ball in the ballpark against this club. That's the way they score runs, is on the home run. They've got a bunch of guys hitting 213 and 230 and 240, and they just don't look all that impressive when you look at batting averages, but the run production is pretty good via the home run.
Second 3-ball count of the second inning. Valbuena has a 3-1 count. Marwin Gonzalez on deck. Swing and a miss. Full count.
You see that sinker there, and that's what Jack Morris was talking about earlier in our pregame show, as I mentioned, and what I've always thought about Kyle. It's such good, hard, heavy sink from such a high angle. He's got to trust it. He's going to come in on him this time with a four-seam fastball. Didn't get it in there.
And lost Valbuena to a 2-out walk, and that'll bring up Marwin Gonzalez. Gibson's struggled a little bit here in the second half of the year. Walks have been a little bit higher. Witness his last start against the Orioles, 5 2/3 innings, only 6 hits, but to 4 walks.
And it's not only the walks; it's the 2 and 3 ball counts when it seems unnecessary. You have to trust your stuff at some point. And when you've got that kind of sinker, just throw it for the low middle of the zone and just take like that, and just take what happens. You just throw it in there. Don't try to nibble too much. Let your stuff be the nibble. You know what I'm saying? Throw it for the middle of the plate, and your stuff will take it toward the low outside corner. You don't have to try to hit that corner when you have that kind of movement from that kind of high release point.
1 strike. Gonzalez overreacts a little bit. Pitch inside, 1-1.
And that's a great pitch too, because when a guy is looking for your sinker, he's going to dive out over the plate. Now you stand him up a little bit with a four-seam straight fastball. Now chances are you can go back out there with a sinker, and he's not going to be nearly as aggressive.
That's kind of what he did with Gomez, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Either the first pitch, I think it was the first pitch to Gomez, was up and in like that, and then he ended up getting him out several pitches later, down and away.
Is Kirk going to go right back out there?
1-2.
And that was a good location from a on the plate standpoint, right in the corner, up in the strike zone. He got away with that a little bit, but that's the idea. You show a left-hander hard inside, and then throw your sinker and let it move to the outside part. That was a little up in the zone, but the right idea.
Valbuena leading off first. Out there on a 2-out walk. Got him. Slider down and in. Swing and a miss. Ends the inning. And Kyle Gibson with a couple of hitless innings here in Minneapolis. Face the middle of the Twins lineup here in the second. Our cold hard fact brought to you by the Silver Bullet Clean Crisp Coors Light. Lowest ERA by American League starters. Sonny Gray, of course, was Kazmir's former teammate until the trade. Dallas Keuchel, his current teammate. The only two pitchers ahead of Kazmir. Twins actually handed Kazmir one of his worst starts, and it came here against the A's when the Twins scored 6 runs against him. Had a 2-run inning and a 4-run inning. Eddie Rosario, the on-deck hitter, hit a home run on the first pitch he saw from Kazmir. Part of a 4-run inning. 1-1 to Trevor Plouffe. And Plouffe backed out of the way. 2-1. It was just one game, but it was a game started by Kazmir that started the Twins on a second-half swoon. The Twins won the first game out of the break and were 50-40. And then game 2 of the series in Oakland, Kazmir shut the Twins down. The ball drilled to center. Gomez catches the line drive. He can't hit it any harder. It's the first out of the inning. Kazmir, a Houston native, has come to the Astros and had a wonderful effect on the rest of the staff.
Well, he's pitched great for them, and whether it's the excitement of having another guy on that rotation or the example that he said about how to pitch or whatever it's been, he has really ignited that, helped to ignite that staff, because they've got some pretty good arms there. Keuchel, you could tell last year, was going to be terrific. Colors has got a great arm. McHugh's pitched well, so they just have a very nice starting staff. Very tough on hitters.
Here is Rosario, who took strike 1 from Kazmir. 2 line drives, 2 outs. And that'll bring up Hunter. Hunter hitting 6th in the lineup. Hoping that he's rediscovered his stroke a little bit here. Had an encouraging end to the road trip. Picked up some hits. Serving as the designated hitter.
Yeah, Torrey was really scuffling there for a little while. Started swinging it better, as you say, toward the end of the trip.
Roller to third. And Kazmir walks off the mound with an 8-pitch 1-2-3 second inning.
Cool game here just off of Cooper Street at the Twin Station. You can come out and play on a miniature target field. There's one off the wall. It's wiffle ball. It's free. Come out and play on our field while you guys are playing on your field. Back to the ballpark.
Thank you, Kevin. Very pleasant weather for baseball here at Target Field, or over at the State Fair. No score through 2 innings. And the Astros will send up Jason Castro, Jake Marisnick, and Jose Altuve. Twins had the good road trip, but they will need much better starting pitching. Swinging a foul, 1 strike. If they are to, well, right now they're playing meaningful games at the end of August. If they want to play meaningful games at the end of September, the starting pitching has to carry a little bit more weight. Gibson's off to a good start, a couple of hitless innings, and now just his 34th pitch. It's chipped to left field, and Shane Robinson comes in a couple of steps. 1 away. And before Marisnick hits, Twins take on the Tigers in the middle of September, the 14th through the 16th here at Target Field. Tuesday features the U.S. Bank Value Pack. Purchase a U.S. Bank Home Run Porch View ticket. Get a free Schweigert hot dog and Pepsi. Wednesday's Student Day presented by Rasmussen College. Standing room tickets are just $5 for students. They include a free ride on Metro Transit. Call 800-33-TWINS. Visit twinsbaseball.com for tickets. Marisnick takes a strike over the inside corner. Marisnick, the 9th place hitter. Down and in, ball 1. As a player, you got to this point of the season where the team wasn't going anywheres, and then of course you had the contending teams you were on where these are meaningful isn't a strong enough term. They're critical games, and it's got to be a lot more fun for a player to be involved in the games the Twins are playing now than over the last 4 years at this time of the year.
Yeah, impossible to overstate how much more fun it is to be playing when every game means something.
Pulled foul. And as we said a week or so ago, it's not just the Twins games, but I mean, if you're into this, you're interested in the Angels game and the Rangers game, because what happens in those games is every bit as important as whether the Twins win or lose. If the Twins win and the Rangers lose, well, that's like 2 wins right there. Tap foul, and Marisnick had the ball come up and hit him.
We can't get too carried away with ourselves with that. You're absolutely right. It's tough not to watch every day. As we watch the replay here, a slider, a good spot, and then not a good spot. Houston bench, you know, you just see a lot of funny things on a baseball field, and they just make you laugh.
A.J. Hinch, former catcher. You think he's going to give Marisnick too much sympathy for that?
None.
1-2. Checked his swing.
That's a pretty good pitch there.
And just off the outside corner.
I got to think that was the same pitch, just fouled into himself. I got to think that there was no way he's going to swing at that. He was willing to take a call strike 3 right. Nope, not doing that.
Right there.
I thought that was a good pitch. So did he. He just didn't want to swing.
And he fouled it, chopped it down into the turf again.
But in any event, in this, you know, you can't do too much scoreboard watching. If you're the Twins, you just have to. You have to try to win every game, give it everything you have to win as many games as you can, and let the other guys just do what they do. Another foul ball. Because there's still going to be a lot of stuff that goes on. You think about all the games that Houston and Texas and the Angels are going to play against each other in September in that same division. You just don't know. They could end up all beating themselves up, and if the Twins just take care of their own business, then they'll be right there. And you don't know what's going to happen. It's going to go right down the wire.
Marisnick getting a piece of everything Gibson spins up there. In this at bat, 9 pitches from the number 9 batter. Away now, 3-2. Gibson walked Valbuena with 2 out in the second inning. foul. Now, if you're up there, and you were up there many times in situations like this, you want to get the base hit. But even if you don't, you've won some points in the dugout because you've seen a lot of pitches. You worked the pitcher, and in this day and age, you've elevated the pitch count, even if you make it out here. Backhanded by Dozier, and a one-hop throw to Plouffe, 2 down. Not a well-hit ball, and it got by Gibson, and Dozier cleaned it up, 2 away.
Well, he got in on him just a little bit, enough to have it not be a single up the middle. Brian's able to flag it down, and with that great body control and athleticism, just throwing a one nice big long hopper to Trevor over there.
Highest fielding percentage among American League second basemen.
Yeah, he's been just terrific. He makes a routine play after play after play, and we've seen the highlight reel stuff that he does. And this guy right here, very, very similar.
And a grounder through the hole. First hit of the game goes to Jose Altuve. And Lowry will bat, but first it's time for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use North Data Strong Fan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. Brought to you by T-Mobile. Lowry hit a ground ball to short his first time up. Altuve threat to steal. Gibson tough to steal on, but Altuve one of the better base stealers in the league. Not just the 33 steals, but it's the 3 out of 4. He's only been thrown out 11 times.
Very accomplished base stealer with 2 out here in a game that could figure to be a low scoring game. I wouldn't be at all surprised to see him as good as Kyle is holding runners on. I wouldn't be at all surprised to see Altuve try to get a jump and go.
1-0. Slap foul. Altuve does lead the league in stolen bases with 33. The rookie Burns of Oakland 25. Lorenzo Cain of Kansas City 24. Gerard Dyson 23. So in all likelihood, Altuve will win the stolen base title. One and one. The Houston third baseman. And they've got him picked off. So Altuve was thinking of second base, and Gibson threw to first base and ends up facing just 3 men in the inning.
Quick move by Gibson, just froze it. He was going.
Is presented by Century Link, your link to what's next. By NorthlandFord.com and your local Northland Ford dealer. And by Grand Casino. The best stories start here. No score, bottom of the third. Twins looking for the first base runner against Scott Kazmir. Not the first time this year we've said that. Ball one. It'll be Nunez, Suzuki, and Robinson facing Kazmir here in the third inning. And a strike. Kazmir, very good pitcher with reverse splits. By that we mean he's much more successful against right-handed batters than left-handed batters. There's a high fly to deep left field down the line. Marisnik at the wall. It's gone. Eduardo Nunez gets the Twins the first lead. Back in May here at Target Field, Eduardo Escobar hit a home run against Kazmir. Tonight it's Eduardo Nunez.
Really good swing. Gets a cutter or a slider inside. Looked like he was looking for the ball in. This is why Eduardo Nunez is so valuable to have as, at the very least, a utility infielder, because he goes up there swinging the bat. He knows he can hit. He believes he can hit. He wants to hit the ball hard every time he goes up there. He's exciting with the bat in his hands, and that's a nice at bat. You can tell by the pitch he took before that, the outside fastball. I really think he was just looking for a location, looking for the ball from the middle of the plate into the inside corner. Yeah, he was talking about saying, I'm looking for the fastball in. The ball's a little slower, and I got a big extension there. Hit the ball out.
Ball one to Kurt Suzuki. Suzuki is 3 for 31 against Scott Kazmir, and he's in the lineup tonight. Talking about reverse splits, you have any idea, having seen Kazmir these last few years, why right-handers would only hit .218 against him? 3-0 to Suzuki, and left-handers, granted, just 31 at bats, but they're hitting .323 against him.
I think mainly it's his approach to right-handers. I think he's dialed in about how he wants to pitch to right-handers, in and out, up and down, and he's able to do that. If you watch him, like right there against right-handed hitters, he'll cut the ball in off the plate, get you thinking about it in there, and then run a little changeup on the outside corner, and then you're thinking about that. He'll throw something by you high. And I think against left-handers, he just doesn't have the same feel for where he wants to throw the ball. See, right in on the corner. He's a little sneaky. His delivery is on his, makes his fastball look a little sneakier than it is, and on top of that, he's got good breaking ball and a good changeup, which makes right-hand hitters wait a little longer, and then the ball gets thrown by him. It's just a back and forth and in and out that he's so good at. There's the fastball on the other side of the plate.
And Suzuki gets a piece of it, 3-2.
I was talking to Tom Bernansky, the Twins hitting coach, today about the approach to Kazmir, and he said, you know, we're just going to have to grind out at bats. I just want my guys to battle. We know he's tough. We know we can't look for anything specific, or he'll be throwing something else all night. We just have to battle.
Popped up left side, short left. Marisnik coming in, and it's the shortstop Marwin Gonzalez with the catch, one away. That'll bring up Shane Robinson. Target's back to school weekend is Saturday and Sunday at Target Field. On Sunday, help Fox Sports North stuff the bus for kids in need by donating school supplies at the Fox Sports North Fan Express parked at Target Field Station. Details at foxsportsnorth.com. Number 9 batter Shane Robinson getting his third straight start. And up and away, ball one. In Kazmir's most recent start against the Twins, right after the All-Star break in Oakland, he pitched 8 1/3 innings. Twins had a threat in the first inning, and then for the next 7 innings, he faced just 3 men. He was in complete control. And a couple of 1, 2, 3 innings here tonight before Nunez hit the leadoff home run here in the third. 2-1. Back. 2-2. Kazmir fell behind Suzuki 3-0. Came back to get him on a pop-up on a 3-2 pitch. Fell behind Robinson 2-0. Now is even the count.
I was just going to say the one thing that seems to separate Kazmir in my mind as I think about it when I've seen him is his ability to throw a quality strike when he has to come back and throw one.
2 down.
He changed the eye angle so often on these hitters. He did that with Shane right there. Low in the strike zone, comes back on the corner, and then 2 up in the high part of the strike zone. This is a tough pitch to hit, but you can't lay off of it because it's not clearly high. After seeing the ball down low and inside and outside, now up, he's just very, very good at changing eye angles, changing speeds, and changing location on the plate.
Buxton with an aggressive hack and a foul back to the screen. Another swing and a foul, and Buxton in one of those ruts where he's behind in the count, it seems, all the time. 0-2. That's what happened last night. Put the ball in play in the first inning here tonight with a fly to center. And the changeup got him. Eduardo Nunez with a leadoff home run. Then Kazmir got the next 3 batters, but it's 1-0 Twins. Pace in the second half. Nunez with a home run, putting the Twins up 1-0, and now on to the 4th. Lowry, Gaddis, and Rasmus will hit. Lowry with a bouncer to short. Every ball has been that has been put in play has been put in play on the ground except for 2 fly balls. Gibson got 3 ground ball outs in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third. There's a strikeout to pick off and a couple of flyouts. Changeup on the outside corner.
We talked about what a good fielding pitcher Kyle Gibson is. I always thought there were 3 things that a pitcher could do besides his stuff, besides the way he delivers the ball, that would really help him be successful. We've talked about it before, but I just think it's very, very important. One is field your position well, and he does that very, very well. Hold guys on well, he does that very, very well. The third thing is don't walk people, and when he gets to that point, then I think it's going to be getting toward the consistency and as good as he can be.
High fly to center, hit almost right at Buxton. He retreats a couple of steps and now comes in. One down. Well, just think what that would mean to the man's career. He holds runners well. Has obviously a good pickoff move. He just picked off the league leader in Altuve. He fields his position well. So if you discourage the bunting game and the running game, that's got to help you over the course of your career quite a bit.
Absolutely.
Twins take on the White Sox. We'll tell you more about that in a minute. One down. Here's Gaddis. Gaddis with a bouncer to short his first time up. Strike one.
So important to be able to get strike one with a pitch other than a fastball too, even though his sinker is the best, probably his best pitch, his most consistent pitch. Being able to show these guys that you can throw something else early in the count for strikes will get them off your fastball as well. There's that man right there, Neil Allen, a big proponent of that.
Bounce foul, 1-2. Won a couple of series on the road, sweeping the Orioles, taking the Rays series 2-1. Would like to continue that streak here and then have, who wouldn't take a nice 6-3 road trip in the next road trip.
Oh man.
On the ground, backhanded. Nunez fires across high, and Dozier backing up the carom to hold Gaddis to what will perhaps be a single. I think a good throw gets him, but Gaddis is aboard. Nunez is thrown nowhere near the first baseman, and it is an error charged to Nunez.
Ball gets in on Gaddis here. Nunez backhands nicely and just airmails Trevor at first. Looked like he could have set himself just a little bit better. Picked up the target. That'll happen when he hasn't played consistently. He hasn't played consistently any one position, and every once in a while you just airmail one.
And now Rasmus. Twins caught a bit of a break. The ball did hit the wall and stay on the field of play. This ball spun back over the Twins or the Astros dugout. But if that ball hops over the barrier into the seating area, then Gaddis is at second base. This way, the double play is still very much in order. Rasmus with a fly ball to center his first time up. Dozier right where he should be, backing up the play, keeping Gaddis at first base. 1-1.
Really looks good the way Kyle Gibson's has been able to come in on hitters, both left-handed and right-handed. Even if they're not strikes, just come in hard and then come right back and get in the strike zone. That's why he's been so successful so far.
Hook foul into the seats. Of course, the first thing you think of now are the fans okay. We've had some terrible incidents in the last week and a half. 1-2. Mentioned George Springer. He took batting practice here early this afternoon, and he will start a rehab assignment at Houston's Double-A team in Corpus Christi tomorrow. When the Twins take on the Astros next weekend in Houston, unless something goes terribly wrong, Springer will be there. Checked his swing. And 3-2.
Another exciting young player on this Houston team. They're really developing a nice crop of young talent with Correa, Altuve, Springer.
Well, the result of being absolutely horrible for a lot of years in a row when you lose more than 100 games and have the worst record in baseball.
But you have to be right in your draft, you know,
right.
to get the opportunity. But you have to do a good job with it. They're starting to see the rewards now.
Tapper foul, still 2-2. with a pull shift on for Rasmus. He's pulled a couple of pitches out over the plate. And Gibson missed the inside corner. Now it is a full count. Just missed the inside edge.
Good try here, trying the four-seam fastball, the straight one that he can throw right on the corner. Just misses it.
Wouldn't expect Gaddis to go. He doesn't run particularly well. He stays put. Swing and a miss. And Rasmus, a strikeout victim, 2 away.
Well, the ability to pitch inside and impress guys with your fastball in will lead to being able to get them out. In the second inning with Carlos Gomez up, Gibson was great inside off the plate, jammed Gomez as hard as he was swinging, got in on him, comes right back in there, go swinging hard, but still jams him. He's thinking about that one, and then go great slider down and away off the end of the bat to get him.
Popped up right side. Plouffe retreats. Dozier over, and they don't see it. Neither Plouffe nor Dozier saw the ball. And instead of a first or one pitch out, it's just a strike. I think it more so than the lights was the twilight that got them there.
No question. It's a really tough sky right now. The ball went up and got into the color of this particular sky, and they just lost the ball. It's like we used to see in the Metrodome in the old days. The ball just goes up there and disappears sometimes as you're running after it. And if you look down to see where you are and then look back up, it can be nowhere to be found.
This is natural. This is twilight. We'd much prefer that than having a ceiling.
Absolutely.
Okay. Or a catwalk, and all the other stuff we had in the
all that other stuff. Yeah.
1-1.
Well, the roof is there every day. The twilight's only there once in a while. So.
Miguel Sano hit. I looked at it 5 or 6 times today on replay, and I said at the time I wanted to look at it again and again and again, and I still believe I think that was the hardest ball I've ever seen hit in a baseball game. Swing and a miss, and there goes the helmet. 1-2.
And we're seeing another example of it here. They've been in hard, and now a changeup.
Torrey Hunter probably hooting from the Twins dugout about Gomez losing his helmet again. Eduardo Nunez does it on the bases. Gomez does it in the batter's box. 1-2. Gibson trying to pitch around the Nunez error. Away 2-2. 69th pitch coming up for Gibson. Really hasn't been much in the way of stress. 2-out walk in the second. 2-out single in the third. 1-out error here in the fourth. But to this point, the Astros haven't mounted any serious scoring threats. Stroke to left. Gaddis to second. Gomez stings a line drive single, and now the Astros do have a scoring threat. Talking about the White Sox series coming up after this Houston series and a day off on Monday. First through the third here at Target Field. And Tuesday features the U.S. Bank Value Pack. You can purchase a U.S. Bank Home Run Porch View ticket. Receive a free Schweigert hot dog at Pepsi. Wednesday is Student Day, presented by Rasmussen College. Significant since Tuesday is the first day of school for a lot of people. Standing room tickets are just $5 for students. They include a free ride on Metro Transit. And you can call 800-33-TWINS or visit twinsbaseball.com for tickets. First and second, 2 down. Here's Valbuena inside ball 1. Valbuena drew a 2-out walk. We saw a lot of Valbuena when he was with the Indians, more as a middle infielder. He's getting some time at first base with the Astros.
Kyle having to work real hard here through no real fault of his own. An error and a ball lost in the twilight, and he's having to throw an awful lot more pitches and facing a tough hitter.
Nice stop by Plouffe. Throws to Gibson, who has to make an athletic move to make the catch and find the bag. 2 are left aboard. 4 shutout innings for Gibson and a 1-0 Twins lead.
Off the bottom of the 4th for the Twins, he is on an absolute tear over the last 8 games, hitting nearly 400. He has doubled his home run total on the season with those 4 homers and 7 RBI. Paul Molitor said today it's nice to see him step up and solidify his spot on this team. He said Escobar likes to remind people that he's still got some sock in that little body of his. And Paul Molitor also said as much as anybody in this clubhouse, when Escobar does well, guys are very happy to see that because of the kind of presence and the kind of personality that Eduardo Escobar brings to this team. Dig and Roy.
Thank you, Jamie. He's done a wonderful job since being installed as the regular shortstop. We saw it play out last year when he was the primary shortstop for the Twins. Had a, we thought at the time, a breakout season. Hit well, got a lot of doubles, big hits for the Twins, and then became kind of a super utility player with Danny Santana coming in from the outfield to play short. And now Escobar hitting the ball every bit as well at short as he did at any time last year. 0-2. And a ball lifted foul out of play.
And you can see 3 straight high targets by Jason Castro, the Astros catcher. This young man, a very good low ball hitter, Eduardo Escobar. Likes the ball down both right-handed and left-handed. He can put a charge in one when it's down there. Up high, has a little more trouble.
This one hooked down the line into the corner. He'll have another extra base hit. And it's a double leading off the 4th.
Well, just a real mistake there by Casimir that Escobar took advantage of. A high changeup. If you throw that ball down, you might get him after the 3 straight high pitches he saw before that. 2 high fastballs and a high cutter, but that changeup that stayed that high, Escobar able to handle that. He can hit a high changeup, low fastballs and high changeups. He just got one there. Starts off the Twins' 4th inning with a double.
9th extra base hit in his last 9 games. Here is Dozier. Squaring and taking ball 1.
And this will be interesting. Paul Molitor, unlike many managers who just automatically want you to get the runner over from 2nd to 3rd, give yourself up, Molitor will have a lot of times when he'll tell the hitter trade places with him. He wants his guys to hit another double. I don't care where it goes. But then there are times when he says you got to get him over however you see fit.
Took a ball and then swung through a fastball, 1-1.
So we'll see what Brian's got in mind here, whether Brian feels like he needs to get the guy over, whether Paul has told him to, or whether Brian's up there to put a charge in one himself.
Altuve almost standing on the second base bag, trying to keep Escobar's lead short. In the dirt, dug out by Castro.
And he's able to do that because we've seen with nobody on, they'll shift Brian Dozier all the way over. Altuve would be playing on the shortstop side of second base anyway, so he's really not giving up anything by acting like a first baseman out there at second.
You've got Valbuena, the first baseman, on the edge of the grass, but 25-30 feet off the baseline.
He's trying to take the bunt away from Brian if Brian wants to bunt him, Escobar over to third. Other than that, they're playing him to pull.
Checked his swing, 3-1, Plouffe on deck. Situations like this, you can imagine Molitor, who great strategist when he was a player, and now here as a manager. He has a lot of confidence in Brian Dozier. You put the bunt on, you take it off. 3-1, he'll be swinging here. And he takes ball 4. A chance now for the Twins to build an inning in the 4th against Kazmir. Tomorrow, MLB on Fox Sports 1 returns a doubleheader as the Red Sox take on the NL East leading Mets, followed by the AL East leading Yankees battling the Braves. Coverage begins 2:30 Central on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Here is Plouffe lined out to center. His last time up. He is the one guy in the Twins lineup that has had some success against Kazmir.
You bet. Coming into this game hitting .333 and 24 at bats, and this is what you want if you can possibly get to a situation, 2 guys on, nobody out, and the guy that seems to see the pitcher the best.
Stung the ball to Gomez, and now the Twins hoping he can keep the line moving. A double followed by a walk to start the 4th. And that hit him. Kazmir almost hit Plouffe in his first at bat in the 2nd inning. And now they're loaded up for Eddie Rosario.
Trying to come in hard, and he got way too far in, obviously. Hit him right below the knee, the side of the leg.
Rosario hit a line drive to first his first time up.
Somebody from the Twins bench yelling out an old school, rubbed some dirt on it. He picked up some dirt and rubbed it on the side of his leg. That's an old school saying.
Does no good at all, does it?
It does absolutely no good.
Big spot for Rosario. Fox Tracks presented by Dodge. Nice block by Castro. Ball 1.
Talking to Tom Brunansky today about Eddie Rosario as well. He said he mentioned something to him. He was struggling. Tom saw a little bit of a glitch in his hitting mechanics. He mentioned it to him during the game. It led to a home run and a triple. Rosario came back in and said, "Okay, I got it. See if he's made the adjustment all the way back to normal."
Fouled away. When Rosario faced Kazmir back on May 6th, Rosario looked at the first pitch, hammered it over the fence and left. And then the Twins really went to work against Kazmir. Santana tripled, Dozier walked, Hunter singled, Plouffe singled, Escobar a sacrifice fly. They put a 4 spot up against him and opened up a big lead. A chance for Rosario to do some more damage here in the 4th. 1-1. Back 1-2.
Bruno telling me it's not very often that a young player of Rosario's age can make an in-game adjustment with hitting mechanics and have the confidence and the ability to do that and have it pay off the way it did. Hopefully he can, whatever that was that Tom told him, and hopefully he's feeling it. Can battle Kazmir here.
1-2. got him on a breaking ball down and away. One down. That'll bring up Hunter.
Good breaking ball down here. Rosario a little bit anxious on the fastball speed and swung at the first thing he saw. It turned out to be slower and breaking down.
The lesson learned, hopefully by the Twins, back on May 6th. When you get Kazmir in a spot, you've got to cash in. They did when they had that 4-run inning. Kazmir's gotten the first out. Now the veteran Hunter.
As we saw, very, very good with bases loaded in his career.
Side ball 1.
10 grand slams is a lot of bases loaded home runs. It really is. That's a tremendous stat. We saw that hitting 325. Torrey, veteran hitter, he knows the pitcher's got to come into him. In a situation like this, he tends not to get himself out. He tends to get a really good pitch to hit.
2-0. Hunter's done okay against Kazmir. 9 for 34 with a home run. Jay Hinch hoping that the veteran Kazmir can get the veteran Hunter. But now the count's 2-0. And he hit him with the bases loaded. Well, the fans here booing, but Kazmir more upset than I think Hunter is.
Well, he absolutely is. That ball not even close, and all of a sudden he's just really struggling with his command. Went from being able to throw it right where he wanted to, but not even being close to where he wants. We've seen 2 in a row now, trying to come in on right-handers and just overthrow it, over release point it way inside. It hits Torrey almost in the same exact spot he hit Trevor.
So the leadoff double is scored, but the 3 runners out there. Quick trip to the mound by Brent Strom. The 3 runners out there have gotten on the bases with a walk and 2 hit batsmen. Nunez hit a long home run leading off the 3rd. He comes up now with the bases loaded.
Well, if I'm Eduardo Nunez right now, I'm looking for the ball out over the plate. I don't think I'd be looking for fastballs in. He's having a hard time with that, getting the ball in there. And at least for early in the count here, I'd take a shot on looking for the ball out over the plate.
Big spot here for Nunez. Outside, ball 1.
He's going right out there. You can see Castro with the outside target.
But I mean, he's been all over the place. He missed a Torrey outside twice before he hit him inside.
Right. He's really struggling with his command, but I just don't see him trying to come in here this inning with the bases loaded anymore. There's outside again.
Nunez, of course, pretty much a pull hitter. A pitch in off the plate. Lifted it down the line.
Sure did. He got a breaking ball, just got some great extension. He didn't know he got that. You see him put his head down almost in disgust, but he didn't know he got all that ball. It's amazing what can happen with the extension you get on a breaking ball. You get full arm extension because you're out in front of it. It can go a long ways when you don't realize it.
1-1. Chop to the right side. Nice stop by Altuve. They call him out. A run scores on a very close play. That ball looked like it was going to right field, but Altuve cut it off. We'll see if the Twins challenge it. Paul Molitor's up out of the dugout. And they'll ask Nunez to. Well, he's coming back to the dugout here. I guess the Twins aren't going to challenge it.
Well, he got a high bounce that helped Altuve an awful lot. If that ball stays down lower, he's got a chance. Nunez does to get a hit. Altuve very athletic, throwing back across his body, just does clip him at first base. Nice play by the All-Star, but Nunez does get the run in.
3-0. 2 men in scoring position for Kurt Suzuki, who is now 3 for 32 against Kazmir. Right field. Rasmus going back. And on the warning track makes the catch. The inning ends. Only 1 hit in the inning, but the Twins score 2 runs. Mountain Dew fans of the game enjoying the proceedings so far with the Twins up 3-0 on the road trip. Twins had to find a way to beat Chris Archer, and they found a way. Opened the game up a little bit in the 7th inning, didn't hit the ball hard, had a couple of fortuitous bunts, but they found a way. And now similarly here in the 4th inning, they didn't do too much against Scott Kazmir, but they found a way to score a couple of runs. Nubbed toward third. Nunez fires on the run, makes a good play to get the first out of the 5th inning. Gibson will take all those 1-pitch outs he can get.
Very nice play by Nunez. He's got a terrific arm from underneath, kind of like reminiscent a little bit of Adrian Beltre. But watch as he comes in here. He feels like he has enough time with his arm to glove it instead of barehand and throw from underneath and throw a rocket over there. Nice play. Watch where his arm angle is right here. Glove it, transfer, and throw from down there. And throw it right on the money and throw it hard. Nice play.
1 down quickly, and here's Jason Castro. Castro hit a fly ball to Shane Robinson his first time up. Up and away, ball 1. 73 pitches, and if Gibson can get through the bottom of the Houston order and finish off the 5th inning and somewhere from around 80 pitches, let's say, that would really, really help. Twins would love a starting pitcher to go 7 innings.
You bet. I will channel my buddy Bert Blyleven in here and say opportunity for Kyle to go deep in the ball game. That's what Paul Molitor is looking for, no question about it.
And he's missed 3-0 now to Castro. One walk issued by Gibson. That came with 2 outs in the 2nd. Back on the strike zone. One of the few games that doesn't involve a playoff contender or a team division leading their division. Seattle and Chicago are scoreless in the 5th inning, And today the Mariners fired their general manager, Jack Durencic. It's been a very disappointing year for the Mariners. Assistant GM will run the Mariners till the end of this season. The ball driven to right center field. We'll see if Buxton can cut it off. Castro will round first and head for second. He's got a double with 1 out in the 5th.
Well, just 6 straight pitches at the same speed, and Castro looked like he came up a little gimpy there for some reason. But
yeah, here come the manager and the trainer for the Astros.
Here's the 6th straight fastball that Castro has seen, and he gets one in the middle of the plate, and a big league hitter ought to be able to hit the 6th one that he sees if it's right in the middle. Castro certainly did.
Castro right there, and that's the sign usually that a hamstring has been strained at least.
So it looked like he put his right hand down up above his hip. It looked like it might be a hip flexor too. Muscle up high and that attaches into the hip and in front of your leg there. That's what it looks like to me.
Hank Conger, the backup catcher, will replace Castro, who unfortunately is having a terrible time even getting off the field.
Yeah, see his right hand right there. That's a hip flexion. That's what it looked when he pulled up. That's what it looked like to me. I've been there, done that. I know what that feels like, and it's a tough injury, a tough muscle to rehabilitate too.
Well, bent over at second base after the double. The word popped.
Yep, that's exactly what what the hip flexor feels like. You feel a little pop in there. It's exactly what it feels like.
Sounds ominous, but we'll wait for the Astros to give us more word. Conger will pinch run and take over the catching duties. The Astros, like the Twins, carrying 13 pitchers, so they have just 3 bench players. Correa, who they don't want to play, and Chris Carter, who's a right-handed slugging first baseman.
Well, they desperately want to play Correa.
They do, but they're not going to.
They're not going. They can't.
1 strike to Marisnik. There's Correa. Had every bit the impact of the Astros that Sano has had with the Twins, and maybe then some, and neither one's playing tonight. 2 strikes.
Great example right there of that high angle sink that Kyle Gibson has, and why Jack Morris and I would listen to Jack especially admonishing Kyle, just throw that thing, throw it early and often. Let's trust your stuff.
Suzuki, a nice block catch, 1 and 2. Well, there's the pitch count, as you see, 81, and only 1 out here in the 5th. Changeup, got him. And Suzuki with a tag. 2 down. I'll bring up Altuve.
Good changeup with a little sink action on it as well.
Carsoup.com trivia question: who are the 3 Astros to lead the league in stolen bases? Now, the Astros, just a little background here, they are celebrating their 50th anniversary, but their 50th anniversary as being called the Astros. It's their 51st year being called the Astros. For 3 years they were the Houston Colt 45s. Pulled foul, and then with the space control being in Houston and everybody going Astro crazy in the Astro Dome, they switched the name from the Colt 45s to the Astros. So disregard, according to the question, disregard the 3 years where they were playing as the Colt 45s. 1 strike to Altuve.
I won't guess Rusty Staub.
Or Joe Morgan, who's a member of the Colt 45s.
Right.
It might have been
Jimmy Wynn.
Yeah. 2 strikes to Altuve, last year's American League batting champion. Suzuki set up well off the plate. Gibson delivered it there, 1-2.
Kind of the opposite of going up the ladder. When you see a guy chasing higher and higher and higher, you keep throwing it there. You've gotten 2 strikes with the slide on the outside. Just kept trying to go further and further away with it. See if Altuve would chase.
Off the plate. Gibson trying to pitch around the 1-out double by Castro, who had to leave the game. Chopper. Escobar has to hurry. He'll have no play. Juggled it for a moment. I don't think it would have mattered. Altuve hustling down the line. He's got an infield hit. 1st and 3rd, 2 down. Conger goes to 3rd, and that'll bring up Jed Lowry.
Well, a guy as fast as Altuve, you've got to make a clean transfer and get it right out of your glove. He wasn't able to do that. I think Dick's right. I don't think he's going to get Altuve there anyway. Altuve scooting down the line. But
how many times do you think we'll see that in Byron Buxton's career? Everybody trying to speed things up a little bit on a little chopper like that, and then just a little bit of a misplay is all it would take. Here's Lowry tying run at the plate. Fouled away. Altuve with a 2-out single in the 3rd, but then Gibson picked him off.
Watch his front knee. Watch Gibson's front knee. A little buckle there. See, the runner is going to watch a pitcher's front knee, and when it bends, it means he's coming up to go into his throwing motion. And Gibson's got a really either quick move or B, quick and a little bit of a block move, because that he was watching his front knee and he saw it quiver like that, and then Gibson went to first, and that's what froze it.
1-1 to Lowry. And this time Altuve gets back to the bat. Well, this has been a longer inning than Gibson or anybody in the Twins dugout would have wanted. We're talking about 80 pitches. This is going to be his 90th.
Yeah, pitch this guy tough. Keep the ball in the ballpark. Limit any damage.
That's to left, hanging in the air for Robinson. And on the 90th pitch, Gibson strands 2 runners, 5 shutout innings, and a 3-0 Twins lead.
starts inside the Minnesota Lottery Winner's Circle. I'm Jamie Hirsch here with Diana, who's given Fox Sports North a lot of love tonight. Check out this sign. All kinds of reasons to come to a Twins game. We've got the wow factor, $100 worth of scratch-off tickets, courtesy of the Minnesota Lottery, which you will be getting tonight. We got to chat for a little while. Unfortunately, our colleague Marnie Gellner is not here tonight. She is also from Minot, like Diana. And Dick and Bert on vacation, but Roy Smalley, World Series credit, he's going to circle you as well. I know you watch a lot of Twins games on TV, but what's it like to be here at Target Field tonight?
Oh, it's great. It's absolutely a blast. I'm here with my family. I've got one of my daughters and my grandson here. It's just absolutely fantastic.
And a beautiful night as well. Thank you so much for making this kind sign. We thank you for watching as well.
Thank you. We're really enjoying it. We love Fox Sports North.
How about that, Dick and Roy? Back to you.
Thank you, Jamie. Congratulations. 3-0 Twins. Shane Robinson. It is a gorgeous night here. Well, back. We had a lot of heat, of course, in Florida. Go inside. It's air conditioned. Not that big of a deal. But we come back here and it's what, mid-70s right now, whatever it is. If it's not a full moon, very close to it over the skyscrapers. Just fantastic. 2 strikes. And Robinson pokes it to right center field. It's down for a hit. Robinson will round first and hold up with a single. Nice job by Erasmus getting there and holding Robinson to a leadoff single.
Good 2-strike hit right there by Shane. Fastball in the outside corner, able to just poke it into right field. Good or bad. Get something started again.
Hank Conger does the catching after entering the game as a pinch runner. And again, as soon as we get word of Castro's condition, we'll pass it on to you. Here's Byron Buxton, 0 for 2, a fly ball and a strikeout. See if Buxton's asked to bunt here. I think a guy having a tough time making contact might do that. And he takes low, ball 1.
Well, after what we saw in Tampa, there's really very little downside here to Buxton dropping down a sacrifice bunt.
And that's what Paul Molitor said earlier in the game the other night. He tried to quickly drop down a bunt for a base hit, popped it up, and was quickly retired. And when he got the base hit, he was simply trying to square and put the ball on the ground, and he beat it out.
Right. Lesson for bunters everywhere.
Caught barehanded, and it'll be a double play. What a play by Conger. Coming out of the catcher's box and almost reaching behind him to catch the popped up bunt. 2 down.
Terrific play by Conger. If he's bunting for a sacrifice, he's moving too quickly, and maybe he was bunting for a hit. I think it was a sacrifice, but look at Conger come flying out of there, able to grab the ball, find it through the mask, grab the ball barehanded, and in one motion throw to first. That's a big league play right there. Very nice play.
And you could see he actually reached into foul territory to catch the bunt. So if he hadn't caught it, it would have been a strike and no harm, no foul. But that's a heck of a play by a catcher, turning it into 2 outs. And now Escobar, who doubled to start the 2-run 4th inning.
Even though you're bunting for a base hit, and I'm still not convinced that he was bunting for a hit, maybe it was just a sacrifice, but even if you're bunting for a hit, when you bunt, your head has to be still and the bat has to be still for the ball to hit it correctly, or you're going to pop it up or you mess it up in some way. You've got a better chance of just staying there, getting the bunt down, and then running as fast as you can, rather than trying to beat the throw to first by moving when you're bunting. It's just very, very difficult.
2-1 to Escobar. And we've talked about this before.
You watch here. You watch Buxton start. Now he'll, right as the ball gets there, the bat's moving and his head's moving. The bat's chopping, his head's moving, and that's why he hit the bottom of the ball with the top of his bat and popped it up. With his speed, and really any bunter where a base hit has got decent speed. I learned this from Rod Carew. I hit in front of him and I watched him with hundreds of at bats and watched the way he bunted. And Rod would just stand there and bunt, place the ball. And he knew if he placed the ball where he wanted, he would beat it out. And I became convinced that a bunter has got to be very, very still as the ball hits the bat.
Lifted fouling out of play. Every time, and there were probably thousands of times, Ted Williams was asked the key to hitting, and he'd always say, get a good pitch to hit. Well, there's also a good pitch to bunt. Now, that was a breaking ball, right?
Yeah.
And that's a tougher pitch to bunt than a fastball, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is, and that's a great point. The first thing is you have to stay still and get the ball down, but the second is you don't. It's not a bunt and run.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like a hit and run where you have to bunt at it. And the best bunters are guys that bunt like the counts 3 and 1. They get the exact pitch they wanted, that they can bunt where they want to bunt it. And if you, just like it's hard to put a good swing on a bad ball, it's hard to bunt a bad ball in the direction you want it to go. It really is. That young man is about as fast a guy of baseball players I've ever seen, Byron Buxton. And he's got plenty of time to get the ball down. I guarantee you that.
Another foul. Escobar running up Kazmir's pitch count. 8 pitches so far in this at bat.
I almost fell out off my couch watching at home, watching him, Byron Buxton, in that clearly sacrifice bunt situation, beat that out. He squared around. Everybody knew he was bunting. Everybody was charging. He bunted the ball in a nice spot, and it wasn't even really close. I mean, it was amazing. So why he would ever be in a hurry up there to bunt, I don't know.
3-2. Escobar battling Kazmir. And came inside to get strike 3. Conger hung on. And even though the Twins got a leadoff single, only 3 men bat, it's still 3-0.
Well, the Twins and Astros battle at Target Field. We turn back the clock 34 years ago tonight. Tim Laudner in his major league debut hit his first major league home run. A 2-run shot off of Dave Rozema, part of a 6-0 Twins win, and a special night for Lauds. Let's go back to the ballpark.
Absolutely. And a couple of days before that, Kent Hrbek hit a home run in his first game in the 10th inning at Yankee Stadium.
It was a bomb, too.
And then later that year, Gary Gaetti hit a home run in his first at bat. And of course, those 3 guys, part of the nucleus of what just 5 years later, or 6 years later, won a world championship. 2-0 now to Evan Gattis, leading off the 6th inning. He reached on a Nunez error his first time up. 92 pitches for Gibson. The Twins are hoping he can weave his way through the 6th. And then it's apparent the Twins are going to need some bullpen help here. And it's a bullpen that tonight will probably include Glenn Perkins, but not as the closer. Yes, Paul Molitor today. Perkins is available. Yes. Can he use him at the end of the game? Well, maybe not in the 9th inning, suggesting that he might be a setup guy until the back and the neck and everything's proven to be okay. And the count now 3-1 to Gaddis. Rasmus and Gomez will follow. And he missed inside. A leadoff walk. He struggled with his control throughout the 5th inning. Now a leadoff walk on the 6th. The Twins and the Angels in what looks to be a critical series for both teams. Square off at Target Field September 17th through the 20th. Twins tied with the Angels right now in the wild card standings. Thursday night, a Thirsty Thursday, featuring happy hour from 5:30 to 6:30. Deeply discounted beverages and appetizers at select Target Field locations. Saturday, a DQ Sensational Saturday. Sunday, a Super America Not Whole Kids Day. 833 Twins. TwinsBaseball.com for ticket information. Swing and a miss, strike one to Rasmus.
That is probably going to be a pivotal series in the whole deal here. I don't think there's any question about that. If either team does something better than 500, win 2 of the 4, it's probably going to be very, very difficult for the other team to come back.
Danny Salazar scratched. Trevor Bauer pitched a good ball game, and the Indians have just beaten the Angels 3-1. The other game of most importance to the Twins, other than the one here, Texas has a 3-1 lead over the fading Orioles in Arlington in the 7th inning. 2 strikes to Rasmus, and why it is, I don't know. Gibson seemed to get a double play grounder almost on command in the first half of the year, and that's not been the case in the second half of the year. Tap foul, 24 of them overall.
What we just saw with Gaddis is kind of the inexplicable nature of Kyle Gibson this year, and I think defines why he has not quite taken the next step that many of us thought he might. And just all of a sudden he'll lose the ability to command his fastball, and he'll walk somebody and have a couple of 3-ball counts, and then the pitch count gets way up there.
1-2 and off the plate.
And with a guy that like this, it goes along so well, and it looks like he's got great command of all of his pitches, and then all of a sudden he just seems to lose the feel for that fastball command.
Popped up. Only one infielder over there, and it's Nunez. 1 down. All right, now that time Rasmus never left home plate. And if Nunez, we used to see, was a Luis Castillo, used to do that all the time. Look at the batter on a pop-up, and if he doesn't run out the box like Rasmus did, let the ball drop, and you can get a double play.
Exactly right. And first of all, that's embarrassing to a team that a guy doesn't run the ball out. I don't like that at all. And if I'm AJ Hinch, I'd have a conversation with Rasmus about that. But secondly, that would have been a really, really good play. And the danger is letting the ball bounce on a kind of a chewed up infielder where it might bounce away too. That's the vulnerability.
And to be fair, Castillo did it at the Metrodome with the more consistent turf.
But here's the pop-up, and Rasmus disgusted, and he sees that, well, that ball's going to be caught. That's unacceptable. And I don't know if he was thinking, if he had a brain cramp there and thought it was an infield fly rule was going to be called. Of course, nobody on second base, so it wouldn't be.
A check swing and a foul. Gomez, who's been diving into pitches throughout this series, that's his game. The Twins have Gibson's run fastballs in off the plate. And Gomez has taken full hacks. That time he tried to check and still made contact.
Well, here he comes diving in. He's going to really take a hack at that ball inside. That's a good thing he's flexible. That would have pulled every quadricep and hamstring in my right leg. That would be me up there.
0-2 to Gomez. Suzuki sets up outside. And a breaking ball lifted foul.
Again, a really nice try. 0-2 there. Pound in, and then go slider away. A hitter just has to be impressed with fastballs in. You have to acknowledge that the guy's got a good enough fastball to get in on your hands, and it makes you get in a little bit of a hurry, and then you become vulnerable outside pitches. He's going to go slider again. Try to get it on the outside corner and low.
Check swing. And a block by Suzuki.
Good 0-2 try there. Try to get Gomez to chase something in the dirt.
Gibson's pitch count per inning pretty good early on, but now it's like every at bat is has a deep count. One and two. Swing and a miss, and the helmet almost came off again. 2 down.
Well, that's a really nice changeup right there. Gomez looking like thinking it's fastball, and he's going to hit the ball 9 miles to left field and just leaves the ball early. Watch his head leave the ball early. His head left the ball, the helmet left the head. That's kind of the style of the Astros players, though. There's no such thing as 2 strike counts. Everything is home run or nothing.
One and 0 to Valbuena.
Dangerous hitter, only hitting .213 coming into the game tonight. With 22 home runs, he can, like a lot of the guys, he can hit it out of the ballpark.
Check swing. 2-0. An appeal, and Bill Miller says it was ball 2. Full swing and a miss. 2-1. Still warming, hoping that Gibson can get through the 6th. Again, not a terribly deep start if that happens, but at least can manage full innings with a 3-run lead. 2-1, now 3-1.
Good example right there of what Jack Morris was talking about again in our pregame show. Not trying to nibble on the outside corner. That ball had really good sink. If he throws it for the middle of the plate, hitters chances are hitter's going to hit over the top of it. Now he's got 3-1. Got away with one there. Fastball up on the outside corner, but up in the zone. Now he's got to make a pitch. 3-2.
Runner at first will go. 3-2 to Valbuena.
Going to get the changeup, I think.
And he missed inside, and it's a walk, and that'll get the tying run to the plate. We'll see if the Twins make a move. Marwin Gonzalez, the next batter. 2 walks in the inning. Gibson is able to get into, but not through the 6th inning. And it'll be Dunsing trying to get Gonzalez here with runners at first and second and 2 down. hopefully the Twins bullpen will continue to do what they've done on the road trip.
They were great on the road, and we have another 5 2/3 from the starter, which is kind of what happened in all the wins with the Twins on the road. But the bullpen was able to come in and get the last 3 1/3 or 3 2/3, whatever they needed. They were just terrific. Brian Dunsing, as you say, will try to continue that trend.
Dunsing and be asked to get Gonzalez here with the Astros hoping to cash in with control issues from the starter as the Twins did in the fourth. The Twins got a leadoff double in the fourth, but then Kazmir was all over the place. Walked a batter, hit a couple of batters, and now with 2 down, Dunsing will try to get Gonzalez and strand a couple of walkers in the 6th. A strike at the knees. Gonzalez a switch hitter, a little bit better from this side of the plate. Does have some power. 9 home runs on the year. 3 is a right-handed batter. One strike. Now a ball. Astros have 3 switch hitters. Lowry, Conger, who's now in the game, and Gonzalez. Time called just once now in the last 5 starts. Gibson has completed 6 innings. That game was against the Rangers here, and he went 6 innings flat. Gave up 7 hits and a couple of runs. 1-1 to Marwin Gonzalez. To the right side, easy play for Dozier. Dunsing gets the Twins off the field in the 6th.
Up here to see Sano up here to have the steadiness of Mauer. You know, Dozier, I got to meet at the All-Star game, having a spectacular season, and these are real players that have high impact potential, and to see that be cultivated in the big leagues and have them all start to play as a team and perform very well at the same time, it's no surprise that given the talent that they can make a push.
Dramatic sounds of the game. A.J. Hinch, the manager for the Houston Astros, and There's no question that that's been a growing trend in baseball. Teams like the Twins, like the Astros, identify who their best players are and very quickly can move them through the system and get them up to the big leagues. Ryan Dozier, the batter, takes ball one from Kazmir. Sano called up from Double-A. Buxton was called up, sent back to Triple-A, did well, then recalled after his injury. Swing and a foul, 1-1. And it's almost, was it this way when you were in the minor leagues, and you didn't play too long in the minor leagues, but it almost as if Triple-A is devalued now. Teams more and more are inclined, if somebody does well at Double-A, to bring them straight up here and bypass Triple-A altogether.
In my experience, Double-A was a tougher league. If you could hit in Double-A, you could hit just about anywhere in the minor. You could hit in Triple-A. The difference between Double-A lights and fields and conditions and travel and everything.
Popped up. Buena with a catch.
Much easier to hit in AAA in just terms of the field conditions and the travel and everything. And you're looking at guys that if they're good in AAA, they tend to be on the big league club, and then you've got more fill-in guys there to fill out the AAA roster, and the AA guys are where your real prospects who aren't ready for the big leagues quite yet when they start the season. That's where they go, much less than AAA.
Kloof lifts it foul, 1 strike.
But I will also say that it's a more recent phenomenon because of expansion and a number of spots that are open in the big league club now. It's easier to have. It's a little easier to have jobs up here now than it was when I played it. Certainly in the old days when there were only 8 teams in each league, and that's when AAA was really a big deal because it took some great performance in AAA to knock somebody out of the big league roster when the rosters were so much smaller.
Inside 1 and 2.
The total number of guys, there weren't that many as many teams, and that's when I came up. It was a little bit more like that, but as well.
1 and 2 to Kloof, hit by a pitch his last time up. And a called 3rd strike, 2 down. Kloof didn't like strike 2, and he really doesn't like strike 3. 2 down.
Tough pitch here with 2 strikes. It looked like it was too close to take. Yep, it's as Bert would call it. It's a pitcher's pitch, and there's the only thing that you can do there as a hitter is try to spoil it, try to foul it off a little bit. That's the thing about Kazmir. Excuse me. The thing about Kazmir is you just never know which corner of the plate he's going to throw it on.
How about down and away?
There's the other side of the plate. So I mean, he again kind of inexplicably totally lost command of 1 inning and hit a couple of guys. But other than that, he is on the corners.
And that got the home plate umpire Ben May, I believe. And Rosario will step out as May gets a few moments to recover. Not so sure, but I think he got hit exactly where Marisnik got hit. Now, if you're Hank Conger, other than apologizing profusely, Tapper foul, 1 and 2.
Yeah, catchers feel bad. That's a ball that Congress should have caught or blocked, and catchers feel bad. There's a bit of a, if not camaraderie, at least an understanding between catchers and umpires about how tough it is and how much they each get beat up. And catchers are trying to protect the umpires as a part of their job.
Rosario on a breaking ball. Tried to pull it, got a piece of it to keep the at-bat alive. Glenn Perkins warming up for the 7th inning, as Paul Molitor said he wanted to use him tonight, but probably not in the closer's role. Tapper into the shift. Gonzalez fires across. It's a 1-2-3-6 for Kazmir. Still 3-0 Twins. The game, and the Twins have done all the scoring so far.
Well, in the third inning, Eduardo Escobar hits a home run, and then Casimir just kind of loses it. Hits two batters with two guys on. 1-1 will score, and then Nunez again with another RBI and a ground ball fielder's choice to second baseman Altuve. And that's where we are. 3-0. Kyle Gibson struggled with pitch count. Able to go 5 2/3, but didn't give up any runs. Brian Dunsink finished off the sixth, and here we are in the top of the seventh with Glenn Perkins on the mound for the Twins.
Perkins with just 3 saves since the All-Star break, yet he's tied for the American League lead with 31. At first the neck issue, then the lower back issue on the road trip, and the first pitch to Hank Conger, fastball inside, ball 1. Conger, a switch hitter, a much better left-handed hitter than a right-handed batter. He's hitting just a .143 from this side of the plate. And a strike, 1-1. With Perkins pitching the 7th, stands to reason Kevin Jepson would be asked to get the 9th if the Twins have a lead. Over the inside corner and a 94-mile-per-hour fastball. Conger, Marisnick, and Altuve in the 7th. And a slider missing.
Well, we know Trevor May is the 8th inning guy now, and he's done a wonderful job in that capacity. No question about that. So pretty nice luxury for Paul Molitor to have Glenn Perkins, an all-star closer, pitch the 7th with the plan of May pitching the 8th, and Jepson as well as he's pitched the 9th. And there's one of the better sliders that Glenn Perkins has thrown in some time. That was his the strikeout pitch we're used to seeing.
Didn't see too many swings and misses on the slider. They were usually taken or put in play.
That's a nasty one right there. Very good pitch.
1 down, and now Marisnick. Conger strikes out as we get word that Castro did suffer a quad strain. Here's a pop-up right side. And it's Plouffe, and it's Dozier, and it's Dozier with the catch. 2 down. Two away in the 7th. Altuve, the batter, and Altuve might be part of the answer to this trivia question. He's leading the league this year.
How about the new Hall of Famer that Craig Biggio? Yep. Oh, Michael Bourne.
Michael Bourne.
Forgot about Bourne. I was thinking Biggio.
Biggio, one of the inductees in the Baseball Hall of Fame about a month ago. Seems like whenever a franchise gets off the mat, somebody establishes credibility. Maybe even in the clubhouse, but certainly in the fan base. And Altuve was that guy for the Astros. They had a bunch of players, and they lost over 100 games every year, and people didn't figure there was any point in paying attention to the Astros because they were horrible every year. But then Altuve emerged as the guy to give them some credibility. Around these parts, in 2001, it was Torrey Hunter, Doug Mankiewicz. They won Gold Gloves that year. Now the team was almost contracted in the offseason, but those guys gave the franchise some credibility that had been lacking for nearly 10 years. Now pulled foul. So you got to start someplace if you're going to have a 25-man roster and you're looking for players that can turn things around. And Altuve was that guy.
Well, he certainly was. And when you have a guy like that, then you can start adding pieces with some strategic intent. You know, I mean, you're not just getting, throwing everybody out there and seeing what sticks. You got potential all-star, eventual all-star player in Altuve. To your point earlier, they were horrible and got a bunch of draft picks. They did those well. Nice pitch in there by Glenn Perkins.
Couple of strikeouts in a 1-2-3-7.
by Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Is presented by Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. By Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine for the everyday competitor in all of us. And by McDonald's. Have bowl for breakfast with the new chorizo burrito from McDonald's. An encouraging inning for Glenn Perkins. Couple of strikeouts as the Astros went down 1-2-3. The only difference, it was the 7th inning, not the 9th inning. And we'll see what the game plan is for Perkins and the Twins bullpen down the road. Meanwhile, Scott Kazmir still out there. Torrey Hunter leading off the 7th. Ball 1, now ball 2. Hunter, Nunez, and Suzuki. In the original starting lineup, Miguel Sano was in the lineup, and then the slight hamstring strain took him out of the lineup. So the original lineup looked completely different. Nunez wasn't in it. And wouldn't you know it, Nunez has gotten the biggest hit of the game so far, his home run.
Yeah, driven in 2 of the 3 runs.
Hunter thought it was ball 4. Home run on the 3rd and a ground ball on the 4th. Maybe it's not the guy. Maybe it's just the position. Third basemen are going to lead the Twins to the World Series. Torrey thought it was up. And now back to Kazmir. Gets the glove down quickly and throws it high. And the first baseman Valbuena touches the bag with his glove. 1 down. And that'll bring up Nunez.
Well, they tell you to step forward and throw it hard, and he throws a little split finger changeup over there or something.
Six in a row set down by Kazmir. He's just beginning to approach 100 pitches. Nunez got a breaking ball and lofted a home run over the wall and left. There's another one hit deep down the line, but this is going to be a foul ball. And then it looked for all the world that he might have driven in 2 runs with a single in the 4th. With Altuve shifted over near second base, he hit one toward right field, but Altuve made a really nice play to get him at first. A run scored, and the Twins haven't scored since. One strike. And there's a bunt, foul. Twins bunted their way to a win the other night in Tampa, but the bunts since haven't been very good. Buxton bunted into a double play in the 5th. Tampa Bay lost again to Kansas City 3-2. Chad Qualls warming up in the Houston bullpen. Chopper to short. Gonzalez fires across, 2 down. We'll bring up Suzuki. Friday, October 2nd, it's Zubaz Palooza. The Twins taking on the Royals. And a limited quantity of special ticket packages are available that include a pair of Twins Zubaz. Tickets, visit twinsbaseball.com/Zubaz. Third time through the order, and Kazmir's been perfect. Twins haven't gotten the ball out of the infield against him. Here is Suzuki.
Yeah, and we're starting to get to that point where the Astros are looking at just that one number that I don't like them. I don't like in a game where you throw up a number early on. In this case, the 3-run lead after the 4th inning, but 5th, 6th, and now potentially 7th. Kazmir turned it right around, shutting him down, and makes the Houston offense feel like maybe the 3's the number we can.
I think the number just changed. Suzuki down the line to left. Foul. Foul ball is the call, says Bill Miller. There is so little room between the limestone wall out there
and the foul pole, and I think Suzuki just hit it. Now Paul Molitor is going to ask the umpires to take another look at it. Paul Molitor had a great angle from where he stands in the steps of the dugout. It's right down the foul line extended, so I don't think Paul would come out unless he was pretty sure that this ball may have been a fair ball. And it is just foul. He put it right in that 2-foot slot. And so this is not a managerial challenge. This is an umpire's review. And they're going to go ahead and take a look at it, and they'll see what we just showed you. That the ball just missed hitting the foul pole, which of course is in fair territory. So we don't think this will take too long. Suzuki just missed hitting his 5th home run of the year. And that, as you said, would have changed the number.
Yeah, I really would like to see him change the number here before too much longer. But Suzuki came very, very close. 1.5 feet from hitting that pole.
Just a long strike, and it's 1-1. And now Suzuki takes outside 2-1. Drilled to center, but Gomez is there and makes the catch. Suzuki making solid contact twice, but it's a 1-2-3-7. Trevor May will pitch next for the Twins.
Presented by authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Minnesota Twins, LLC.
Trevor May has morphed into a very reliable 8th inning reliever for the Twins, and he has the 8th inning here tonight.
Well, he has pitched very, very well in this capacity, and I love the way his body language and the way he goes about it. He has taken his starter stuff, good fastball, good curveball, good changeup, and said evidently to himself, I've got 1 inning, I'm going to lay it all out there. And the fastball's got 2 or 3 miles an hour faster for an inning, and the curveball and changeup he's throwing for strikes. He's just challenging hitters with really good stuff, which is what you have to do late in the game. It's been really, really nice to watch him come in there. And I frankly, Dick, think that if he does go back to the starter role next year, I think this stint as an 8th inning guy is really going to help him as a starter, because he's got the kind of stuff that can get him 4 or 5 innings pretty easily, and then as he gets to the 3rd time around the batting order, as he powers a fastball in there for strike 1 at 95 miles an hour. As he gets later in the game, he's now used to pitching late in the game and understands how he has to go after hitters. I think it'll help him as a starter.
1 strike to Lowry. Missed the corner with another 95-mile-per-hour fastball. Kind of a double-edged sword, I suppose. If you're Trevor May, you want to do well in whatever role you're in, but he's been so good in this role, the chances of him going back to the rotation at a time when the Twins need better starting pitching aren't very good. They'd miss him too much in the 8th inning. 1-2. And now 2-2. What we've seen, not just effectiveness, but quick innings. 1, 2, 3, 12 pitch innings.
Well, he's just pounding the strike zone with 3 real quality pitches. Right there.
Got him looking.
That's, you know, it's just such a great example of what we're talking about. He throws 2 great curveballs, and you got to be thinking about how tough that curveball is to hit, and then throws 95 right on the corner.
Fox Tracks presented by Carrier, 1 away. Evan Gattis will bat. Gattis has reached twice, once on an error, once on a walk.
Same spot as at 96. Same spot to Lowry, on the, which is obviously on the other side of the plate to Gattis, but equally or maybe even harder to hit. Outside corner, 96. See if you want him to go up a little bit.
Well, mid-90s again, up and in around the hands. Breaking ball, and Gattis gave up on it.
Knee buckler right there. I mean, that's really fun to watch, and especially after coming in hard, up and in. Now this curveball starts at him, and he goes, I got to get out of the way, and it just disappeared back over the strike zone.
Driven to the right field corner, foul. May came to the Twins in the Ben Revere trade. Revere, of course, back with the Toronto Blue Jays in rapid succession. The Twins traded their 2 center fielders, Revere and Denard Span, who's going on the disabled list now for hip surgery and won't be back this year. Dribbler to short. Charged by Escobar over to Plouffe. 2 down. Join us September 4th for the Lynx Night Out ticket offer. Welcome by Fox Sports North. $30 and you get a ticket to the game, craft beer sampling, and a commemorative Lynx beer stein. For details, visit foxsportsnorth.com. Click on upcoming events. Dunsing got the last out of the 6th. Perkins went 1, 2, 3 in the 7th, and now May hoping to do that in the 8th. Rasmus, the batter, 0 for 3. A fly ball, a strikeout, and a pop-up. Strike 1.
Yeah, drop a little change up on a left-handed hitter just for good measure, just to show everybody the 3rd pitch. And that the thing is, he's throwing strikes, and quality strikes with all 3 of those things.
1-1. Yeah, nothing belt high over the middle. He's pitching to the frame of the strike zone, not down the middle of it.
And every once in a while, when he happens to throw it over the middle, it's 95 or 96, which allows you to get away with one in there every once in a while.
Top back and out of play. You say, well, the starting pitching's got to get better. The bullpen will get taxed out. Remember the World Series last year. With the exception of Madison Gardner, there was never a World Series played with poorer starting pitching. The Royals had a great bullpen. The Giants relied on their bullpen a lot. The starting pitching was dreadful.
Well, I will tell you something here as we watch May and we watch how well Kevin Jepsen has pitched. I'm not saying that to the Royals degree yet, but if Glenn Perkins gets healthy here quickly, we've got something developing here with Jepson, May, and Perkins.
What an inning for Trevor May.
7th, 8th, and 9th inning. There's some real similarity as we see a nasty breaking ball for strike 2.
Note, I'm Jamie Hirsch reminding you to stay with us for Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink. Immediately following the final out of this game, Tom Hanneman and Jack Morris will break down a solid night for the Twins pitching staff. Plus, Eduardo Nunez with an all-around night performance. We'll take a closer look at that, including his home run to put the Twins on the board first. And we will hear from the manager, Paul Molitor, inside the Twins clubhouse. All coming up on Twins Live after the game, guys.
All right, thank you, Jamie. The hope is Miguel Sano will be back in the lineup, probably as the designated hitter, but back in the lineup tomorrow. Shane Robinson making his 3rd straight start in tonight's game. He's 1 for 2, and that kind of is what Robinson's done. He's gotten a hit or two, it seems like, in every game, and batting average at .262. Jack Qualls, part of a much improved Houston bullpen this year, and he'll pitch to the Twins in the 8th.
To your point, I think Shane Robinson is, I hope not underrated in terms of what Twins fans think of this young man. He's just a solid, competent player. When he plays the outfield, you just think that every time the ball goes out in his direction, it's going to, the right play is going to be made. He's going to catch it, or he's going to throw it to the right base. And very competent player. He's a tough out at the plate. He runs really well. Really nice 4th outfielder.
1-1. Twins have certainly run a lot of people through that role. 4th outfielder. And of that crew, not to belittle anybody else, Robinson's been the most reliable guy the Twins have had.
Yeah,
Darren Mastroianni was, good player, but he was always hurt. And Robinson's been durable.
Shane's a terrific outfielder and a good base runner and a tough out at the plate. Gives you competitive at bats every time out there.
Altuve throws him out, 1 away in the 8th. As promised earlier in the game, we've selected the Data Strong fan photo of the game. Tweet your strongest fan photo to North Data Strong Fan for a chance to be featured in an upcoming broadcast. Here's the extent of our featuring. We got Lily Batting as our entry tonight. Brought to you by T-Mobile. 1 down in the 8th, and here's Byron Buxton. Buxton 0 for 3 tonight. Bunted into a double play his last time up. And he takes strike 1. And the way Buxton's at-bats have been going, strike 2 will come on the next pitch. hoping to turn it around, maybe with just one good at bat. There's a drive to right center field, but Rasmus is under it. 2 down. I'll bring up Eduardo Escobar. You can follow live Twins baseball every day with MLB.com at bat on your smartphone or tablet. Stay connected to the Twins all season with MLB.tv Game of the Day, in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, and more. And browse the app's new features, including StatCast tracking videos, bilingual access for Spanish-speaking fans. Download MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. Kevin Jepsen, the only one warming up, so it suggests that even if Escobar hits another of his home runs here and takes it out of a save situation, that Jepsen would be the guy to pitch the 9th inning anyway.
I'm sure Kevin Jepsen would be just fine with a 4-0 lead instead of 3.
1-0. And inside almost to the backstop, almost hitting Escobar.
Eduardo Escobar has really great leg drive into the ball for a little guy. That's why he is small in stature, but is able to hit the ball as long as he can hit it as far as he can hit it. His whole deal is backside driving into his front side very aggressively. It gets him in trouble every once in a while. His swing, he'll get a little too much forward motion going, but if you watch his back leg driving into a square front leg, that's where his power comes in.
Most of that sounds really painful.
Well, that's just the nature of hitting a ball with a stick. It's the same in golf, and it's most assuredly the way you derive power in a baseball swing is the back leg driving hard against the front leg.
3-1. And Escobar will take a walk, and that'll get Dozier to the plate. Escobar's reached twice tonight. Dozier's reached once. He walked and scored in the 4th.
Here's a guy that does that very well. Tom Bernansky and I actually did some real good hitting conversation earlier that we've shown you on Twins Live, Fox Sports North. And Bruno's showing me some of the drills that he does with a lot of the guys, and Brian Dozier particularly said that Brian's ability to use his legs is the reason why he generates so much power.
Texas beat the Orioles, which will keep the Rangers ahead of the Twins in any case, win or lose for Minnesota. But it drops the Orioles now 2 games below 500. Tampa Bay's lost. They're 2 games below 500. So we're maybe starting to see some separation here among the wild card contenders. And the Twins have been responsible for some of that separation, which is a very significant thing about that 6-game winning streak on the road. It was built against teams that the Twins were in direct competition with in the wild card standings.
You bet. It's one thing not to do well on the road. It's another thing you have to go in and do well against contending teams, which all 3 were on that road trip. What billed as such a tough road trip, which it was, lose 3 heartbreaking games really in New York, and come right back with and win 6 out of the next 7 against teams that were right there with them in the wild card chase. So it was pretty impressive.
2-1 to Dozier. Pulled foul, 2-2. Ball's trying to pitch around a 2-out walk. Astros are due to send up Gomez, Valbuena, and Gonzalez in the top of the 9th. Escobar goes. It's a swing and a miss, and Escobar will get no stolen base on strike 3. The inning ends. It'll be a save situation for Kevin Jepsen when we come back. Nunez in for Miguel Sano, out with a slight hamstring strain, and he's driven in a couple of runs. The Twins have a 3-0 lead. First time in 10 games that any team has scored more than 2 runs against the Astros. And Kevin Jepsen, who, like Glenn Perkins, has 3 saves since the All-Star break. The difference is Jepsen got his on the road trip.
And pitched tremendously well and much needed on that road trip. Was dominant, actually, in his save opportunities. See if he can throw another beauty out there this inning.
It'll be for the Astros, Gomez, then Valbuena and Gonzalez. Gomez a single in 3 trips. High fastball. Gomez is challenged and misses. Backstop 1-1. Twins bullpen has been perfect so far. 7 up, 7 down. Up and away with a fastball. 2-1. Since coming over to the Twins, Jepsen has walked 4 men, including the first 2 men he faced. Swing and a miss and a half swing by Gomez. Jepsen came in and walked the first 2 guys he faced in a relief role, and the whole inning fell apart after that. Since then, he's been really good with just 2 walks in 12 2/3 innings. 2-2 to Gomez. Full count.
Well, he throws hard too, like Trevor May, 94, 95, occasional 96, but he showed a really, really good curveball on the road to go with that good fastball.
Struck him out at 95. Pumped it right down the middle, and Gomez swung through it.
Power against power, and he just won the battle, threw it right by him.
Valbuena will bat, but time now for what's next. Brought to you by CenturyLink. Mike Pelfrey going for the Twins. Kyle Gibson may even his record at 9-9. Pelfrey will try to even his at 7-7. Mike fires it through a no-hitter his last time out. Got an extra couple of days rest. Will go for the Astros. Valbuena the batter. On the outside corner, a strike. Swing and a foul, 2 strikes.
I think Kevin is pumped up here. He threw a what looked like a sinker at about 88 miles an hour. I wouldn't have been surprised. I would not be surprised if that was supposed to be a changeup. He's throwing 96. The fastball is not 88, 89. That was something else. There's that curveball. Good try, 0-2 in the dirt. Trying to get him to chase. Kevin Jepsen throwing 95, 96 miles an hour, 88 mile an hour, either sinker or almost a changeup on the corner. I think he's ready to give the Twins fans here a little bit different look at his stuff than the first time he was here.
Breaking ball missed low. Valbuena take that. 2-2. Popped up. Suzuki finds it And has it go out of his glove and tips upside down. Suzuki got over there a little bit late. He had a hard time finding that ball and then had to lunge at the end.
Yeah, if he'd have found it earlier and gotten there earlier, he'd have caught this ball. Just trying to get there and get himself set right by the rail there. Just everything happened a little bit late and all at the same time.
Now inside a full count. Jepson's run the count full to the first two batters here in the ninth. Gonzalez on deck. Missed low. A walk. Puts a runner aboard with one down in the ninth. Some news and notes from around baseball. Cole Hamels picks up the win for the Rangers. Didi Gregorius with 4 hits. And Twitter is abuzz with the news that Vin Scully will be back for his 67th year next year.
That is phenomenal. Grew up listening to that man in Los Angeles. He was baseball to me for my whole life.
Marwin Gonzalez, the batter. Fouled back, 1 strike. Twins 2 outs away from win number 66. One strike to Gonzalez. No ball. Conger on deck. Down low, 2-1. Jepson has been so good about throwing strikes. Now seeing his control slip away a little bit here in the ninth. His saves all came on the road. 1 in St. Pete, 2 of them in Baltimore. Trying to get his first target field save as a Twin. 2-1. Base hit to right, and the Astros will get the tying run to the plate. Gonzalez with a sharp single to right, and Conger will come to the plate. First and second, 1 down.
Well, a little touch of wildness here has gotten Kevin in a bit of trouble. Gets behind, has to come right in the middle of the strike zone to get a strike again. Gonzalez rocks it into right field. It's the walk and the falling behind that will get pitchers in trouble any and all times.
Slugger Chris Carter on deck. Astros can't pinch hit for Conger because they're already using their backup catcher. Conger takes low, ball 1.
Whereas in Tampa and Baltimore, every pitch, whether it was that changeup or fastball or curveball, every pitch was strike, strike, strike. He's just struggling with it here.
Two and 0. May pounded the strike zone. Perkins did in the 7th. Jepson struggling with his control. 19 pitches, only 8 strikes. 2-0 to Hank Conger. 3-0. Carter on deck. Twins Marlins have already used Glenn Perkins and Brian Dunsing and Trevor May. Blaine Boyer's been used the last 2 days. 2 innings 2 nights ago and 1 out last night. 3-0. Got the corner. Struck him, or excuse me, strike 2 on a 93-mile-per-hour fastball. It's a full count. Jepson trying to come all the way back from 3-0.
Yep, it's one of those situations again where this will be the 6th straight pitch that Connor's seen, most of them fastballs, and that's probably what he's going to get here.
Struck him out. 2 down, and Carter will hit.
Well, a good fastball right there. Just threw it by him. Had a little bit of late movement down. Good fastball there to get under the bat of Connor.
Oh for 3 Marisnik was. He's being lifted here for Carter. Very powerful hitter, very strikeout prone hitter. And he threw him a wrinkle, and Carter was way out in front. Carter not hitting for much of an average, but the power is still there. 1 strike to Carter. One and one. Most are standing here at Target Field. On the outside corner at 95.
Nasty fastball, as Dick said, right on the corner. Now he's got Carter set up for just about anything he wants to throw in here on the outside part of the plate.
Breaking ball tapped toward the hole. Long throw across the diamond, and Plouffe has to come off the bag. The bases are loaded. And Jose Altuve will bat with the bases loaded and 2 down.
Well, he threw him a breaking ball that had a little bit too much of the plate for a strikeout. He was able to make contact and get it in the hole. A tough play for Escobar. Backhands it, throws on the run, trying to one-hop the ball over to Trevor Plouffe, but just threw it offline. Trevor not able to catch and tag at the same time.
One of the toughest outs in the game. Jose Altuve with surprising pop. On the outside corner, strike 1. 2 singles tonight, 10 home runs on the year. Little bit low, 1-1. This will be the 30th pitch this inning for Kevin Jepson.
I don't know. He's got low knees, this little guy right here. Looked like a pretty good pitch to me. The top of the ball had the strike zone, looked like.
1-1. Popped up, 2 strikes.
Boy, it is great to see a big crowd here at Target Field into this ball game, into this hopeful last out. This is fun stuff. Been a Long time coming. This is fun.
Bases full. 1-2 to Altuve. Breaking ball to center. Buxton is there. Jepson fills them up, but leaves them full. And the Twins win the opener against the Astros.
Well, we've got the same recipe here that we saw in 6 straight wins on the road. They started pitches a nice 5 2/3, and the bullpen comes in and shuts the door.